This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Came on the screen with the big sigh.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I did come on the screen with a big sigh because sometimes it takes a lot of work getting through these Knicks games, man. You know what I'm saying, Tony? Oh, man. Stressing us out. Stressing us out. We couldn't shake the Detroit Pistons tonight. You know what I mean? We couldn't shake these guys. And I don't know, does it concern you? I mean, the Knicks, they didn't start off well. Then they came back, took a double-digit lead. But the Pistons kept fighting back, battling back, fighting back, battling back. And then you had the wild ending. Does it concern you about continuing this stretch without our guys?
This is what I'll say. It doesn't concern me because it's the Pistons, right? And where they are right now, we don't gotta see them in the playoffs. But it's something about these young, athletic, tall teams that we just don't match up well against. You know what I mean? So I put them in that same category with Indiana and Orlando. That if they was a bubble team, you know what I mean, and that could get in the playoffs, I wouldn't like the matchup.
Right.
We match up a lot better against the older, more veteran teams.
Yeah.
Than we do against the young, athletic, tall teams.
Right. I guess my concern is not really, I know we don't have to see them in the playoffs. I guess my concern is we got to see them again March 25th. Right? We got to see them March 25th. I'll actually be at that game. So if you're at the game, make sure you know, if you see me, give me a holler real quick. But we got to play them again. And, you know, it's a team that we, in our mind, we're like, all right, you know, this is a win. But tonight it wasn't an easy win. You know what I mean? It was a difficult win. Quentin Grimes tried to kill us. Quentin Grimes said, you know, you traded me? Okay, watch this. Had a crazy fourth quarter. You know what I mean? You know, oh, man. It was an exciting game because of the way the ending went down, right? You know, Josh Hart did his thing at the end of the game, you know, with some hustle plays. But, I mean, we had to scrape out a win versus the worst team in the NBA. Get blown out by the best team, the Boston Celtics, scrape out a win against the worst team, you know, and obviously we know the Knicks have mad injuries, but we still got to play with this team that we have right now for a while before we start getting guys back. I guess that's just where my concern is. You know what I mean? We still got to play with this team, you know, and try to find ways to scrap out wins. And it's looking tougher and tougher every time we step on the floor, you know, scraping out these wins. We scraped it out tonight, you know, and you know, I'm satisfied and happy for the win. The Knicks got 35 wins on the season, but man, you know, man, that would have been a terrible loss. That would have been a terrible loss. Oh, I mean, you know, given the Knicks' current schedule, if they lost to the Pistons, you know, oh man, the outlook would have been grim. Spree, what's popping, brother? How you feeling?
Sam, Tony, what's good?
I mean, I'm good. I'm good that the Knicks won, but it wasn't it was in dramatic fashion.
What a wacky 30 seconds there. That was wacky.
Yeah. A wacky the last minute from 50 whatever seconds when Grimes made the layup. The whole thing was wacky.
I mean, when you have Evan Fournier and back in town and Quentin Grimes, you knew it was going to be something was going to be wacky, the steak or something. Let me just say this. A couple things. First of all, where was this Quentin Grimes putting the ball on the floor, making these incredible acrobatic layups, just being aggressive? Like, where was that?
He made a couple.
How about the bounce pass to Durham off the drive?
Like, where was that in New York? He definitely was. Look, we've talked about this. When guys get traded, you know there was extra juice tonight for Quentin Grimes. And Fournier. Of course
it was. You know what I mean?
So
they wouldn't be professional basketball players if there wasn't a little bit of extra juice.
Of course, that's normal. It's normal. I didn't understand why Fournier got booed. I wouldn't have booed him. Fournier didn't play because he was out of the rotation, but I didn't have any issues with Fournier.
Fournier did say a few things though, right?
I was gonna say
he said a couple of things. Yeah, he said a couple of things. He didn't say it towards the fans, but he said a couple of things.
All right. I hear you. I get it. It's just fans being. I get it. I'm just saying this. Let me make this comment. The foul. So let me just say this. The no call. First of all, we got screwed 2 weeks ago, so I ain't apologizing for anything.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's true.
I am not apologizing, Sam. But let me just say this. Hart's initial poke of the ball was not a foul. Do I think Dante – let me just say this. I think Dante got to the ball first. He hit the ball first. But is it true he tackled and went into his knees? Yes. But let me just say this. I think Tibbs is right. If you call it loose, call it loose. This game was what they were letting him play, Sam. For most of the game, they were not calling the little tight fouls. They were letting them be physical the game. I'm okay with the no call. Obviously, I get it from the Pistons perspective. I'd be furious with the no call there. What was your thoughts on that?
Right. I thought it definitely could have been a foul on DiVincenzo. No doubt about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I
the
agree.
ball. Now, the one thing I'll say is I couldn't see the ball. So I don't know if the ball was bouncing or did the Pistons have a hand on it. I couldn't see that. So if the ball was bouncing and loose, they may look and say it's incidental contact, but a foul definitely could have been called. No doubt about it. I'm with you. The Knicks got screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The Knicks got screwed,
yes, they did.
and we lost the game because of it. I don't feel bad for nobody. Rock Howard. I just wanted to say Rock Howard because I think that was a Pistons fan in the chat. The Knicks got lucky because the referees. Rock.
Hey, tell them stick around.
Whatever.
Stick around.
Yeah, man. Stick around for
the losers lounge. Rock.
For the losers lounge, man. This is. Look, refs are refs. I'll just say this. I saw a better replay on Twitter. I retweeted it. If you go back to my Twitter, he hits the ball first. But it's clear right after he hits the ball, he runs into his knees. I'll say this, Sam. I've watched enough NBA basketball to know this. In that same exact scenario, there are a lot of refs that will call a foul there. I ain't going to lie to you. But I am not apologizing, Sam.
No,
I'm not apologizing.
You know what? Listen. They would. A foul would be called.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No doubt about it. A foul could have been called, but it wasn't.
It was.
What do they say about, anytime the Knicks have one of these things go down, the referees miss calls every day. So, Rock and whoever else, the referees miss calls every day.
I'm good. And I'll just say this. The Quentin Grimes, look, I'm happy for the kid, but I was happy. I always supported Quentin Grimes. I thought he was a good Knick. I thought he got a lot of hate. Was some of Quentin Grimes' issues, was he not aggressive at times? And were there things he could have done better? I would have liked to have seen yes. I was happy he played well. But Sim, the win is the win. You know our guys are out. Tony, we just got to hang in there and grind these out. I don't know, but you could tell, like, you know, when your ex comes into town, like, you could tell there was like ex vibes tonight at the Garden. Like, you just felt like it was kind of fun, Sim. I kind of enjoyed it a little bit in a weird way.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
All right, guys, have a great show. I'll be listening to the Losers Lounge.
Appreciate it, Spree.
All right, peace.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you know, who would have known that we would have had such a spirited game with the lowly Detroit Pistons? Such a spirited game, but it was.
I mean, every ex-Knick played well. Every ex-Knick had a moment.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks were led in scoring by none other than Jalen Brunson. You kind of know that news on a nightly basis. 35 points for Jalen Brunson. He wasn't the star of the show. He didn't end up being the star of the show. That was Josh Hart. Josh Hart, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Jalen Brunson also had 12 assists. Did I hear them say that Jalen Brunson is 6th in the league in scoring right now?
Yes,
6th
they did.
in the league in scoring. Jalen Brunson, ladies and gentlemen. And that's something. I mean, he's got to take it on his shoulders right now because he doesn't have any other scorers out there on the floor. But besides Dante, you know what I mean? But 6th in the league in scoring. Dante DiVincenzo had 21 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists tonight. Bogdanovich had 13 points and 6 rebounds. Precious Achiuwa, 4 points, 11 rebounds tonight. 7 points for Alec Burks, 2 points for Miles McBride. For the Detroit Pistons, ladies and gentlemen, they were led in scoring by Cade Cunningham. And for a while, Cade Cunningham was dominating the basketball game. Whether the Pistons were winning or losing, he was dominating the game. He was doing his thing out there. I mean, 32 points, 8 assists for Cade Cunningham. 14 points for Jaden Ivey. 14 points for Quentin Grimes, who almost became a Knick killer tonight. 14 points in the fourth quarter for Quentin Grimes. Almost became a Knick killer. Yeah, all those points in the fourth. Almost became a Knick killer. Simone Fontecchio had 12 points and 3 rebounds tonight for the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons, you know, listen, they battled, and I know they battled the Orlando Magic the other day as well. But the Pistons battled tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and almost upset the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? Listen, they play again on the 25th. I'll be at the game. I don't want to see another tight game like this versus the Pistons. I want to blow these guys out the water, blow them out the box. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I want to blow them out the box, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? Too close for comfort. Too close for comfort. I don't even know, Tony. It was just, game was just too close. You know what I mean? Yeah, I expected the Knicks to really just handle business. They had a double-digit lead for a good portion of the game. You know, I mean, when the Pistons took the lead in the fourth quarter behind that Quentin Grimes shot, that was their first lead since the first quarter. You know, the Knicks got to be able to close out games, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks win the rebounding battle 52-50. 31 assists for the Knicks, though. 25 for the Pistons, 9 steals for both teams, 4 blocks for the Knicks, 14 turnovers for the Knicks. The Knicks only shot 44% from the field and 38% from 3, while the Pistons shot 48.1% from the field and 46.7% from 3. Knicks win the Battle of the Paint 42-40. Knicks win second chance points 23-13. Fast break points, the Knicks win at 14-9, ladies and gentlemen. But it was the hustle at the end of the game that finally pulled it out for the Knicks. You know, finally pulled it out for the New York Knicks. I don't know, any other, and you know, what other thoughts do you have, Tony, just on the game itself?
Somebody said it in the chat earlier. I'm sorry I didn't start it. But I think these games are building character for these guys.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And this adversity is gonna be something that they can lean on in the playoffs and the push. So I think it's great. You know what I mean? Especially, I mean, with the win. Obviously, you know, if it wasn't a win, it'd be a whole different attitude.
Yeah.
But yeah, we gotta get them how we get them. We got another one tomorrow, and you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, it's getting strenuous the longer these guys are out. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Hey,
Because
on a positive note, though, pardon me. You know, Mitchell Robinson out there is good to see him on
Good to see
the
him.
bench. Randall's been on the bench
Yep.
for a couple
Yep.
games now.
Good to see
You know
these
what I mean?
guys.
So I think it's revving up, man.
Good
I
to
think
see
it's
him.
revving up.
Yeah. You know, the intensity is picking up because as we get, you know, less and less games left in the season, each win becomes more and more important. Right? You know, right now the Knicks are a game and a half, I think, over the 76ers for the fifth seed. Right? Game and a half. Yeah, the Knicks are a game and a half over the 76ers. They're still 2 games behind Milwaukee for the third seed. You know, to be honest with you, right now, if things stay the way they are, you know, if the Knicks moved up to the third seed, they'd be playing Indiana. I don't know. I don't know if I want to play Indiana in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Right now, if they're in the 4th seed, they're playing Philadelphia, who's the 5th seed. You know, with Joel Embiid there, you know, that's still another tough any matchup is going to be tough. I don't know. Even if they were the number 1 seed, they'd have to play Orlando because depending on who. Well, Orlando's in the play-in. Yeah. Miami, Orlando, Chicago, Atlanta, all in the play-in. So who knows who would make it? Yeah, boy, things are getting tricky. Let me get to my man Silk. Silk, what's poppin', brother? How you feeling?
What up, Sam? What up, Tony?
Chilling, man. You know, trying to survive.
Woosah.
A heart attack.
Woosah.
Peace, family.
Yeah, woosah. I got a woosah right now. I got my shoes off like in the Die Hard in the movie with the airplane, just relaxing my feet. I had to do all that this game. Oh, man. Yeah, I kind of figured this going to be that kind of game, especially in the 4th quarter. Freaking Fournier and Grimes hitting threes over the damn place. I'm like, oh yeah, now they want to ball in the 4th quarter. But Cunningham hitting all them threes, man. But they beat OKC, so they've been playing better in the second half. So
yeah,
they haven't been winning games because they be making dumb mistakes in the 4th quarter. But they've been in a lot of these games. And Cunningham been hitting threes lately.
Right.
So I expect him to be going on 6 for 6 though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. Tell me about it. You know, they're getting better. They're a young team. They have some pieces. They're getting better, but you know, the Knicks got to be. You know, I mean, they won the basketball game. I need them to handle business on the 25th against this team.
Nah, we'll be different with OG back by then. Cause
Yeah,
ain't doing that against
True.
OG. He ain't doing that against OG.
OG should be back by then. Maybe even Randall. Who knows? Hopefully.
That'd
be nice.
I'm not sure about Randall. I think they're gonna wait till Randall to the end of the month, basically almost to make sure his shoulder as strong as it possibly be to take on punishment.
I mean that's definitely possible. You know what I mean? There's also speculation or there's hope, I guess, within the organization that he can make it back halfway through March, mid-March. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We need a brother back. We need both of those guys back so we can. We need them back so we can work through some things. You know what I'm saying? And build a little bit of chemistry between all of the guys, the new guys, Randall, etc. You know what I mean? Need them back.
Right. And so I got a question for you. Now, we're playing the Pelicans next, right?
Pelicans, yes.
Okay. Now, I probably wouldn't do it because of Pelicans, because of Zion. But I feel because the Knicks right now, even though Hart is starting to shoot threes again like he did last year, it seemed like something with him after the All-Star break, he remembered how to hit threes again. But I would sit Precious at the start of the game, bring Bojan in to help out with the scoring so that there's not so much pressure on Brunson at the beginning of the game. He ain't going to play the whole quarter. He's going to play like 6 or 7 minutes and then bring Precious in for 5 or 6 for the defensive end. And in the closing game, when we need defensive stop, it's going to be Precious, not Bogey. But I would bring Bogey in at the start of the game because there's only 2 consistent shooters on the team that teams are respecting and are guarding. It's Dante and Brunson. Hard at hitting 3 now, but they still going to let him keep making 3. Precious is scared to shoot, and Hard is what he is in the middle of the paint. So I would start Bogey at the power forward, not against Zion, because he's gonna get his lunch handed to him.
Exactly.
But on certain teams who he could go against, I would start Bogey instead of Precious, just to help Brunson out at the beginning of the game, so he don't have to do everything for the first quarter. He ain't so tired in the fourth, because he had to work hard in that first quarter just to keep us in the game.
Right. I mean, I definitely get what you're saying. I think Tom Thibodeau is, he's got his lineup, and I think he's just the kind of coach that's going to say, "Stay. I got my lineup, and I'm rocking with it." You know what I mean? And just going to stay with his lineup.
Because I think with Bogey out there, they ain't gonna be two big dudes guarding him like they were Dante and Bogey out there at the same time. Now, okay, against certain teams that got a guy like Zion or a power forward like that guy who could just kill you on the post, or Tatum, you're not going to do that. You're going to go with defense. But a guy who's got a power forward who ain't as scoring power forward, I will put Dante on there for the first 6 minutes of the game, 7 minutes of the game. So they can't be killing Brunson in the beginning of the game.
Right.
That's until Randall gets back or OG gets back, until one of them guys come back. Just until one of those guys come back. So I'm talking about like maybe a 2-week thing. Just until one of those guys come back. It's not a regular thing.
Yeah.
So you can see Bogey can hit them way out 3. They can't be crowding the paint and doubling and leaving him free like they're leaving Precious free, and he's scared to shoot.
Right.
So that's why they're leaving him free right now.
I get it. I understand. But then, do you lose some rebounding? Do you lose some of that defense in that first unit? You know what I mean? I think you got to take that into account as well.
That's why I say not only in the first quarter. After that, situational how it rolls. That's the first quarter. Because in the fourth quarter, I don't want Bogey in there on defense. I want Precious for defense, like that block that they both held on the stuff that dunked from Durant.
Right.
I'm just talking about the first quarter. So Brunson ain't working so hard in the first quarter to get his points.
Right.
Because if he wasn't hitting, we would have been down by a whole bunch of points.
Right. Exactly. No, I agree 100%. 100% if he wasn't hitting. I don't know. I think he's probably going to stick with the lineup that he's been using because, the more you use the lineup, the more chemistry they get, all that kind of stuff. He's going to stick with his lineups. You know that.
I know. It just Precious. He plays so timid with that 3-point line.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes. I mean, he's knocked down a couple of them this year though for the Knicks, right?
But not these past 2 games. These past 2 games, it's like somebody said scared mouse. He's scared to shoot, and he got a little mid range, and he be trying to dribble into the paint with 3 guys down there, just stop and pop. And like I said, he got. I guess it's what Toronto was saying. And sometimes he makes you look like, yeah, he got it. And I'm kind of like, man, what you doing?
Right.
You forgot how to shoot?
Well, I mean, but that's what happens with role players.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And role players, it's hard for them to consistently play outside of their role. That's why they're role players, right? Because it's tough for them to play outside of that role for a long period of time. You can do it on 1, 2, 3 nights, something like that. But then for a longer period of time, it's a little more difficult. You know what I mean? For them to play outside of their role. What do you think about that, Tony? What Silk was saying about Bogdanovich in that lineup?
I wouldn't necessarily change the starting lineup, but maybe do the substitution quicker. Okay. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't necessarily change it to start the game because I do think the defense has to be the staple.
Right.
And I don't think I don't think it's a challenge for Brunson early in the game. Like Brunson's usually cooking early. You know what I mean? Even though tonight he had to put in the work. It didn't seem difficult. I think when Brunson needs the help, it's later in the game. You know what I mean? When he's been doing it all game. So I kind of have the opposite feeling about it.
Yeah. You heard that, Silk? You heard that?
I heard. Sorry, I dropped my phone and got cut off by accident.
Nah, it's cool. So what do you think about that? He kind of sees maybe it should be opposite.
Yeah, I hear you, Tone. It's just, and at the end of the game, I don't want Bogey in there for defense. So I'd rather have him try to get hot with us, get us a lead in the first quarter, and then we work the second, third, and fourth. We work defense and whoever fits. That's why I say the first quarter, and not even a whole first quarter, just the first 6 or 7 minutes, just to give us a space, room, him to breathe. He ain't got to be a workhorse the first quarter. And Bogey might get hot for the first quarter, give us a good get 10 to 12 points. And then if they stop beating them up, then we work defense with Precious and whoever we need to, 2, 3, and 4. Like I said, that's only until we get our guys back.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I hear your point. We could be down 10 points because he giving up defensive rebounds.
Right.
I understand that too.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I just don't like these last 2 games, them crashing Brunson, rushing Brunson. He's having such a hard time just to get a couple of points off. And because he's getting more turnovers now than he ever did before because he got no space.
Yeah. I mean,
Past the
and
games, he's getting a lot of turnovers. He don't do turnovers.
he's got to do a lot. He's got to do a lot. He, not only is he scoring, he had 12 assists tonight. He's trying to get other people involved too. He's got to anchor the offense. You know what I'm saying? He's got to be the draw. He's got to be the magnet. Plus, he's also got to get the ball to facilitate to other people. He's got to do everything.
And honestly, I didn't. Him having 12 assists aside, because I didn't even realize it watching the game. But what I have realized is his passing is a lot better than I initially thought. You know what I mean? And a lot of it, I think, boils down to finishing as far as the assist numbers. Because I think he could get close to 10 a night.
Yeah, and that announcer said that Tibbs called Dante the riverboat gambler. He ain't lying. He hit some crazy threes, and he do some crazy passes. That pass that almost close to the turnover. Yeah, that's gambling. Come on, don't be trying to swing around the pass when we need a shot. That was a riverboat gambler pass. So we got it back.
Yeah, no doubt.
We got it back.
I appreciate your time, bro.
What your guys think about tomorrow?
Oh, man. I don't like the game tomorrow. Let's put it like that.
Not me either.
We got smacked by them when we were fully healthy. I'm not saying we're going to get smacked tomorrow, but I don't like the matchup that much. We'll see what we can do. You know what I mean? But I don't like the matchup that much.
And your boy Burks, I'm getting ready to ship him out of town, man. The first half he doing stuff we like. Second half he trying to cut between 3 guys like he Michael Jordan. I'm like, what is he doing?
Hey, he been listening to Spree too much. Spree called him Jordan. Now he thinks he's Jordan.
Yeah, I'm tight with Burks. 2 more points from him, I would have had a $300 parlay.
Oh man.
2 more points.
See?
I knew when Tibbs pulled him, I'm like, he ain't coming back.
That one's a wrap.
Yeah, Tony, you gotta get him on his Instagram page and call him out. Call him out, Tony.
Nah, it's my fault. I don't even usually be playing around like that. I just, you know what I mean? I felt lucky.
Yeah, crazy. Hey, Silk, I appreciate the time, brother.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nah, I said I appreciate your time, man.
It's all good, fellas. Have a good one.
No doubt. Have a good one. Peace. Ah, man, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what Tibbs thinks about the game. You know what I mean? Definitely a interesting ending to the basketball game. The Knicks pulled it out, though, ladies and gentlemen, and, we'll take a look at that as well. But let's listen to Tom Thibodeau.
Questions?
I guess what you thought of that last sequence, kind of wild. Might have been foul, involved Jalen's finds Josh.
Say that again.
Just that whole sequence there at the end when it was almost a turnover. why you chase for the ball and Josh winds up with the ball into the end of it.
Yeah, look, I was obviously pleased with the win. It was a very physical game. There were a couple plays like that. Jalen had one in the first half where he hit the floor. We ended up with the corner three, scramble play, and sometimes that's the difference between winning and losing right there. So just finding a way, I thought our rebounding was probably the difference, but it was, it was a physical game from the start, and I'm fine with that. As long as it's, the same both ways, and I felt it was, it was very physical.
Monty was just saying that non-call on Dante's and Thompson was an abomination.
I don't want to comment on stuff like that because I haven't watched the film, but I thought in general, just, like it was very physical. I thought like on Jalen's drives, I thought there was a lot of contact, right? But I was okay with that because I felt like there was contact the other way as well. So to me, it's as long as it's not, tight one way and loose the other way. You can call it tight, you can call it loose. I'm looking for consistency, and I thought they were. I thought the game. I thought it was a good, hard-fought game. I thought they played well. And I thought we battled.
When Fournier and Grimes, they seemed to get it going midway through the fourth. Is there anything you saw defensively that wasn't happening?
No, it was just a hard-fought game. That's all. And sometimes those are scramble plays. You got to make a second and third effort. So, in the end, find a way to win.
So you guys have beat this team pretty handily over the last few years. This one was a lot closer than usual. Are you fine with that, or are you happy with it?
I'm just look. You guys hear me say it all the time. I don't care if it's high scoring, low scoring. I don't in the end, find a way to win, and that's what I care about. Is the bottom line. And look, and I said it before the game. That's a really talented young team, and they play teams tough. If you look through their scores, and they've played some of the best teams in the league down to the last possession. Monty's done a really good job with them. So, I didn't underestimate it. I've been watching them. I see how they're playing, right? So, in the end, just find a way to win.
Coach, you put Jalen back in early in the fourth. He played 40 minutes. Josh played 42. Can you just talk about their resolve and really closing the game out?
Yeah, you got to do what you have to do to win. So whatever it takes, get it done. And then like those guys have done a great job. And it's interesting because those are probably the guys that are putting a ton of work into it. Right? Last night, both guys were in the gym shooting. And they'll be there tomorrow. And there's a reason why they're playing the way they're playing. And there's a reason why they can handle those minutes. They prepare themselves to handle those minutes. And so that's why I've said it many times. That's what I love about Julius. So, and look, I don't know when he comes back, but I just love watching him work the way he works every day. And he's in the gym 2-3 times a day, so and that's what it takes.
That last night, when things were going wild all over, it looked like Jalen still composed, finds the right guy. Just that's what he does.
Yeah, and he's always at his best when his best is needed, and that's what I respect about him. And he doesn't get rattled. He can miss a shot. That's he's gonna move on to the next play, make the play, find a way to win. I thought, Precious had a big offensive rebound. He gave us really good minutes. Dante was terrific. So, and we got to be ready tomorrow. Quick turnaround.
I think Grimes had all 14 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Not surprising, I guess.
No, he's a good player. Yep.
He's a good player. Quentin Grimes, he's a good player. No doubt about it, man. Thibodeau seems to be happy with the win, obviously. I still think probably in the locker room he's talking to them about giving up leads. You know what I mean? You know, they had double-digit leads several occasions tonight, and they gave them back to the Pistons. So I'm pretty sure he's probably talking to them about that. You know, and I've seen it with this particular basketball team, these players that's currently constructed without OG, without Randall, that they've given back some leads. You know what I mean? I don't know if it just has to do with the addition of new players and maybe some lack of defense, or because they're new and trying to figure out how they have to play together. You have some lows on the offensive side. Not exactly sure, but you know, they have given up leads, and you know and man, you know, if they get down to a good basketball team, I think it's hard for these guys right now to get back into the game. You know what I mean? But you know, listen, they won the basketball game. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that they can play better tomorrow night. You know what I mean? Maybe this was just play better tomorrow night. If not, we're going to get dusted off if we don't play better tomorrow night. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to let you know, March 10th, the Knicks play the Sixers at home. I think it's a 6 o'clock game. We're going to be there. International Andy is going to be there from Poland. So if you want to join us, there's a link in the chat right now. It's tagged to the top of your YouTube chat. It's also in the description of the video, section 224 and 227, I think it is. $220 per ticket. Please come join us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be doing a pregame shoot around, as well as a pre and post-game live podcast at Legends. So, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you come join us. All right, the link, again, is tagged to the top of your YouTube chat. It's also in the description of the video. And to my man, Greg, always, he said, can you please bring subscribers over to Still Knicks Fans? Always, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you go subscribe to Still Knicks Fans if you have not. Go subscribe to Still Knicks Fans. Just go to YouTube and type in Still Knicks Fans. And the channel will come up. And then hit the subscribe button. And then watch their shows. You know what I mean? Yeah, do that. Thank you, Greg. Josh said, are you scared of Indy? Yeah, I'm not scared of them. I think we can beat them. I don't like the matchup. Two different things. I don't like the matchup with Indy. You know what I mean? They're an offensive team. They move the ball a lot. You know, a high-scoring team, and I don't like that matchup against the Knicks. You know, now we haven't seen, you know, with OG and Randall and the rest of the cast that we have right now, but I don't really like the matchup, you know. Tony, any key plays or decisions for you tonight?
Obviously, you know, that last sequence, you know, the scrappy hustle play by DiVincenzo. Diving on the floor, you know, sacrificing his body, giving it his all.
Right.
And saving the game.
I mean, that whole sequence.
Josh had to hit the shot and get the and one, but still.
The whole sequence for me, I mean, you see it right here, you know, starting from 50 seconds. You know, I mean, Cade was dribbling, you know, I don't even know where he was going, you know what I mean? But he kicks the ball up top, swings it to Quentin Grimes, and then Grimes goes off the dribble and makes a beautiful layup. That was a beautiful layup right there, ladies and gentlemen, from Quentin Grimes. And, you know, we've seen that before, but then with 35 seconds left, you see Brunson bringing the ball up the floor, getting the screen from Dante DiVincenzo. I actually didn't agree with this shot that Brunson's about to take. Right? He pulls the three here. Yeah, I was a little iffy on him pulling the three, and I was like, why? You know what I mean? But the Knicks continue to hustle, tip the ball around. You get the ball back out to Dante, who almost turns the ball over, hustles to get the ball back. Brunson then finds Josh Hart. Josh Hart gets the and one, ladies and gentlemen. You know, big and one from Josh Hart right there. I mean, the Knicks take the lead 112-111 with 2.8 seconds left. Monty Williams definitely had a gripe. You know what I mean? Because it could have been a foul on Dante DiVincenzo. But, you know, nevertheless, the Knicks continue to hustle. You know, Josh Hart gets the tip. and they make plays. You know, that's what, if you're going to hustle, you're going to make plays. I think the Knicks knew that they needed this victory. Josh Hart then turns around, misses the free throw, gets his own rebound, and gets fouled again. And ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much, that's still not even the end. The Knicks still had to hustle it out because Josh Hart misses another free throw and then had to end up, he got his own rebound again. You know, he makes the first free throw on this play and then misses the second, then gets his own rebound to finish the game out. Tony, just what was you doing during that sequence?
I was speechless, speechless, just waiting for the time to expire and hoping we prevail. But I mean, the biggest one was when when DiVincenzo died for that ball, because that was a clear lane for 2 points.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think they would have went up 3 if if he converted it. 2.
And the crazy thing is when I seen the play, I thought they were calling a foul. I thought it, because I think in Dante's mind, it was like, I'm going for the ball. If I foul him, okay, cool, good. You know what I'm saying? They'll probably, go to the line. I don't know what the foul count was, but they'll probably go to the line and we'll get a chance to get the ball back. So it was like, if I foul him, cool. Worked out the Knicks way, ladies and gentlemen. Worked out the Knicks way. A great sequence, an anxious sequence of basketball right there. But a fun sequence of basketball. And a fun sequence, but also not a fun sequence because nobody wants the Knicks to have to battle that hard to win the basketball game against the Pistons. That's what they had to do. You know what I'm saying? They hustled it out and found a way. But we don't want that to happen ever again. Who's your player of the game tonight?
There's got to be Josh Hart.
Yeah.
Even though Brunson had 35, 12, great performance, carried the team. He's him.
Yeah.
But I mean, Josh Hart, like Sprewell spoke about, his shot is starting to fall again. You know what I mean? He's shooting it with confidence, whether he make or miss, and he's impacting winning. Like, he's just doing those Josh Hart plays that he was doing when he first came to us last year. And yeah, we need it now. We need it more than all season.
Yeah,
with all the absences.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm with it. Same here. Josh Hart, I think, is the player of the game without a doubt. The hustle at the end. 23 points tonight. Was knocking down threes. Nice game from Josh Hart. I definitely think he was the player of the game. Without him, maybe the Knicks don't win it, ladies and gentlemen. But the Knicks pull it out onto the Pelicans tomorrow night. Any thoughts about that game?
I don't know if I'm happy that I'm gonna be at work and I'm probably not gonna get to watch it, or if I'm sad about it. They're a tough matchup. Yeah, they're a tough matchup. You know what I mean?
Tough matchup.
It's not really much else I could say.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're missing anybody. I know they had a fight. There might have been some suspensions held out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they back now or what, but
yeah, definitely. Either way,
yeah, I'd rather play them at full strength and still have to fight and battle.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough matchup. I don't like the matchup when we're healthy. You know what I mean? Now that we're not healthy, I definitely don't like the matchup. So it's going to be a tough one.
But we also haven't seen the matchup full strength.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even some of the teams that I don't like or I didn't like how we match up against, I still want to see how we match up at full strength, because that might change everything.
Right. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head on over to the Losers Lounge, okay? All right, make sure you come join us about 11:30. All right, we're setting it up right now. As I speak, I'm setting it up. You don't even know how I'm doing it, but I am. Anyway, join us on the Losers Lounge, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to join us on March 10th versus the 76ers at Madison Square Garden, the link is in the chat. It's pinned to the top of the chat, and I just put it in the chat. It's also in the description of the video. Okay, so make sure you go and check that out, ladies and gentlemen. We want to see you there. International Andy wants to see you there.
Yes.
Join us.
This is his big introduction.
No doubt. You know what I'm saying? Come join us, ladies and gentlemen. We're up out of here. We will see you on the Losers Lounge in about 10 minutes. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.